For further analysis, we're joined from London by the CEO of QW Capital, Gianluca Lobefalo. Welcome to Q News. Let me start by asking you, how do you assess Amazon's decision to cut 14,000 jobs with an emphasis on AI adoption, and what broader implications might this have for the tech sector's workforce stability in 2026?
Yes, I think we have to differentiate between short-term implication and long-term implication.
Okay.
It's obvious that at the moment we don't have a clear picture of a positive implication of artificial intelligence as a general concept on the workforce and on the productivity. We expect, and the reason why the market is so supportive of all the companies who adopt in a way or another or generate new AI solution, we assume that this one will trigger, will push, will increase productivity at some point in the future. And that obviously we go back into the question if the market is anticipating too much of that or not enough of that. But clearly, if productivity has to be increased, and we all hope this is the case, is unfortunately it come up with a potential reduction of some part, some segment of the workforce, because clearly there will be some. Now, this doesn't mean that as a negative impact. It's just saying that we have to deal with the new way we interact with work. Like, for example, I'm in data analysis, right? I'm a fund manager, I run a quant strategy, I need to be collecting data, analyzing data.
Yes.
Now, I think we have to understand that the real implication of AI will be that our emphasis on work will no longer be on collecting the dots and the data, but on connecting the dots and the data. That's something that only a human being can do. This is very unlikely that an artificial intelligence, for whatever it means, can really replace this connecting activity. Obviously, it will require a higher level of education. It requires the barrier is getting higher and higher to make a difference, to justify a job. That is true, but that is progress. You always saw in any industrial revolution, we saw this happening.
Okay. Well, Mr. Gianluca, in the context of Amazon prioritizing internal role transitions for laid-off employees, how effective are such strategies in mitigating the economic and social impacts of mass layoffs?
I mean, it seems to be the only things they can do, right? What else they could do? If you were, Jeff Bezos at the moment, what other decision could have been taken to try to mitigate at the moment? Then I'm sure they will come up more creative solution. But again, this is the very first news that we have at a very big scale of implication in terms of layoff linked to AI.
Yes.
So the judge, we cannot be out already with the judgment of that. We need more data point. We need more example.
Okay. Okay, but considering the ongoing trend of companies in the United States and Europe reducing workforces amid economic pressures partly caused by tariffs, what are the wider consequences for industrial competitiveness and consumer markets?
Yeah, look, today we just had the ADP, so the last survey, even though the US is in shutdown, so we are having less flow of data released by the government, we had actually a good month. So after 2 contraction months, we have a positive number as to be confirmed at the beginning of November, but I'm not convinced that this implies that we are having a negative implication of workforce. We are going to see different dynamic in the workforce, different skill required, but again, I'm not too convinced that is a negative impact.
Okay, so you think that jobs will disappear, but other jobs will emerge at the same time, right?
I don't think the word disappear is the right one. There will be transformation.
Okay.
Transformation.
Okay. How might automation-driven cuts like Amazon's move influence the balance between innovation, investment, and job creation in large corporations?
Again, difficult to say. I mean, innovation is necessary. Don't forget that we are now focusing on the implication on this on the Western, but if I look at what's happening in China, is a big example. China, what they decide to do to invest has heavily in automation. So they are the biggest exporter of robots and the biggest applier of robots in their supply, in their chain of production. But frankly, I'm not seeing an increase in unemployment unless we don't trust the official number, but let's stick with the official number. It means there are way around it. And obviously China is the advantage that there's a more stability in the government because they don't go through a regular democratic election. But still, means that their example is saying to us there is a possibility to properly integrate automation to get rid of human being in the heaviest and more dangerous part of the production without increasing unemployment. So you have to be more creative. Yes, we need to have very skillful politician and very, enlightened entrepreneur, but it's possible to be done.
Okay. From London, that was the CEO of QW Capital, Mr. Gianluca Lobafalo. Thank you so much for your valuable insights.